Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wednesday here on Chrono Speakeasy. I'm Paul, joined with Rob.
AOI, yeah.
And Chandler.
Hello there.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
How's
my crazy busy streak has ended with all kinds of work. So now I'll at least live like a normal human for the next couple of weeks.
Congratulations.
I'm excited.
Welcome back.
I have next weekend off. Like, I can wake up on Saturday and do whatever the hell I want. I'm so excited.
It's a pretty beautiful thing.
I'm so excited.
How is the crazy winterness that's affecting the East Coast? How are you guys doing out there?
It's super warm today, actually. In New
it's
York,
a beautiful
at least.
spring day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it at least like melting the snow?
Yeah, there's no more
most
snow.
of the snow's gone.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
How's it over in CO?
Oh, CO's good, man. It's been
C-Rock.
Yeah, C-Rock. It's good. It's been like predominantly upper 40s, low 50s. We actually had some 70-degree weather, so all in all, I cannot complain. It's good stuff all around, and we got some good stuff to talk about on this episode. I'm just going to dive in with the Tom Hardy pick, because I just think it's hilarious that before I saw it, all these news sites were like, oh, first look of Tom Hardy on the set of Venom. And it just is a picture of Tom Hardy on the set, but just as Tom Hardy. I mean, it just looks like it could be Tom Hardy from any movie except for Dark Knight Rises.
He's really just owning the role,
He's like, but I love how the picture they choose is like, well, he's got some bracelets around his wrist, and he has a journal. So this is a very deep Eddie Brock. This isn't like toxic masculinity, bro. Eddie Brock. This is like he's probably got some hurt feelings. Writes them in a journal.
He's some soul searching.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really wanted them to go full on like Todd McFarlane Eddie Brock, like straight up flat top, like big black eyebrows. Like
it's like a period piece if they did that, like a '90s period piece.
Would it be great if that's what Venom does to him? It just gives him a flat top and thick, bushy eyebrows.
He's Guile.
Hair blonde. Like, if you go back and look at the Todd McFarlane stuff, like Eddie Brock kind of looks like Guile. Less ridiculous flat top, but it's a good flat top for sure. One of the better ones.
They could have given him like some highlights or something. He's just like regular brunette.
Yeah. Well,
still like so. I don't know if we've talked about just the Venom movie in general, but like, are either of you excited in any way about this? Because I'm not
really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like for me, it's like Doctor Strange. Like, I mean, didn't really need to happen, but I'm glad it's there.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was excited for Doctor Strange only because we haven't had like a Doctor Strange movie. We had that really kind of weird 70s TV movie, but it's funny. I was talking to Dan, and he said that he was more excited for Spider-Man Homecoming than Doctor Strange. And I was like, dude, we've had 5 Spider-Man movies. We haven't had Doctor Strange. Like, at least it's different.
Yeah, but this time is different.
Yeah, well, and it was different. It was definitely the best one. Besides the point. I mean, I would love to see a Venom like done right. I don't know. I'm just concerned about it just being solely a Venom movie and not.
I don't think he can carry a movie as himself as a character.
Either. No.
So as a child of the 90s, like growing up in the 90s, getting into comic books and this stuff in the 90s, Venom obviously was like my favorite character. Like most other people growing up in the 90s, just because he looks really goddamn cool.
Yeah.
Like on just a sheer aesthetic look, like especially when Todd McFarlane draws him, because I mean, just that like, I don't know, I can't even make words that make sense, but I don't know, just like the
proportions,
his body language, and just like just the look of him, all the little tendrils popping off, and
the teeth.
Yeah, and like I think in like the Venom origin story, like around Amazing Spider-Man 300, that like first arc, I kind of like that story, but it's a Spider-Man story with Venom in it. And they did it very terribly in Spider-Man 3. Like, really terribly. Like
with, like, the Frito nails?
Yeah, like, well, they did everything. They did the whole
The Bugle.
Eddie Brock,
Bugle,
like,
that's what it was.
the Eddie Brock Peter Parker like rivalry / what, like, it was done so bad. And I think there's a place for a good Spider-Man Venom movie, but they said in all the news that like they were kind of basing this Venom movie off of the like standalone Venom comics from the 90s, like Lethal Protector and whatnot. And I bought all those and read all those when I was younger. But if you go back and read those, they're so bad.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll take like the good ideas, because I honestly think that like you can make a good movie from garbage. Like if you like I've probably said this before, but I think the best example is The Maltese Falcon. It's one of my favorite movies. Humphrey Bogart. It's a classic. But a lot of people don't know that that's a remake. And in fact, that's the third time they tried to adapt The Maltese Falcon. So I feel like you can tell a good story. I mean, you just have to tell it well. So I think that like you could take something that's kind of like and tweak it and make it work into a good movie. I think finding what the message of it is, because you ever read something, it's like, I know what they were going for, what they were trying to do, it just wasn't executed well. I'm hoping that that's what we're gonna get with Venom, but I would like to see it done the way it was in the comics, where you have Venom coming out of a Spider-Man movie. Like I always thought, and I've probably said this before, that I think Venom would be done best if as a trilogy. Like if you had like the first film being Peter getting the suit, and then having a different villain, and then you have the second movie where it's more of a Peter versus Peter type bit, where the symbiote's sort of gaining more control. And the third movie is Peter versus Eddie. And you could have Eddie Brock be established in the first film of that trilogy, so that you're kind of building up Eddie's story arc. Kind of do it the way that I think they were trying to do with Harry Osborn in that first trilogy, where, by the time, that he becomes the Green Goblin, or at least at the end of Spider-Man 2, I was so excited because I really wanted a Peter versus Harry movie, because, we had followed his trajectory, because I think Harry Osborn in that trilogy was a really interesting character, but sort of being kind of shunned from his father, kind of always running second place to Peter, and then, hating Spider-Man and kind of being pissed at Peter, why that he, you're taking pictures of my father's murderer. Like, it's like you kind of got the motivation, and that'd be kind of cool if they could do that with Eddie without having to condense it all into one movie. But who knows? Maybe this could be really, really good. As long as...
Yeah, I will see it for sure.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
I hope I am surprised.
I just hope that he has a better choice for voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because I don't want a Venom that's like, we are so excited.
Oh no.
I'm just genuinely excited to see, like, visually how they represent him.
Yeah.
Because my favorite Venom is like kind of the big burly, like when he's Venom, he's kind of clean cut. Like there's not a bunch of it's not like Carnage where there's always tendrils and stuff going over. But then like he can go full on like splashy symbiote monster.
I think I like about him being clean and tight, but I think it'd be great if they could somehow make the costume always moving, almost in a way that like Rorschach's mask always moved.
That'd be cool.
So rather than just being kind of bald all over the place, but it's almost like it looks like it's like running water, or it's something to show that this is like a living thing. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. I think I think on paper, I think we talked about Venom like a long time ago, a couple like episodes ago, but like he has like a lot of like good like story potential, because like he's like a journalist, so you can kind of like spin that and make kind of like a political thriller kind of thing, or like you can do so much with it. But I hope they like, I don't know. I'm optimistic.
I think it might be one of those things where it could be almost like it's Eddie Brock's like search for God. I know it sounds super dramatic, but think about it. I mean, Eddie Brock, true to the comic book, he was in a church looking for an answer when the Venom symbiote found him. And maybe that might be the arc of this character's journey, is that always kind of looking for something outside of himself, something to fill a void. And it's Venom.
I feel like it's so weird without introducing the character. Like Venom can't exist without Spider-Man.
No, I agree. And honestly,
So it just seems so weird.
do you know what I was honestly hoping for before all of this got announced? Was that I hope that like Venom was going to spin out of Infinity War. That like
something space related,
yeah,
or
like Peter, because it looks like in the trailers Peter's off-world, and much like the Secret War comic book, Peter got it when he was fighting off-world. So I thought that was where they were going with it. So
Like it's like latched onto his like boot while they like go home to Earth.
God, yeah, on his moped. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see like Venom and not Tom Hardy looking concerned.
Yeah, that's such a weird like choice for like a marketing picture. They're like, hey, here's Tom Hardy taking notes. That's in a blue shirt.
Yeah.
Watch Venom.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Venom Lethal Protector this week. I'm gonna give that homework to myself, and I'll report back next episode and tell you how it is.
Maybe we can. Maybe I'll read it too. What is it called? Venom Nevermore.
Lethal Protector.
I don't know where I got Nevermore. Lethal Protector.
Hold on.
Nevermore.
Venom movie. I'm gonna Google because the director or the writer, I forget who, said like listed specifically what they were getting inspiration from. So I know Lethal Protector was one of them. Let's see. Director Ruben Fleischer took inspiration for the character's portrayal from a quote in the comics. You're Eddie Brock. I'm the symbiote. Wait, what? That's not an
So it's
album.
it's a love story. So basically, it's just like, hold on, wait a minute. So Eddie's gonna get a note from Venom about how basically to quote Rocky, listen, I got gaps. Venom has gaps. We fill each other's gaps, and I don't know, maybe. That would be really interesting if it was sort of like a love thing, like just, like Eddie Brock couldn't catch a break, looking for love in all the wrong places, and then one day, I'm Venom. This summer, a story of friendship, whose bond runs deep. Tom Hardy, Anne Hathaway as Venom,
As a symbiote.
It's like Her, where he's like always talking to the symbiote, and the symbiote's talking back to him in his head, but it's just like Anne Hathaway.
It's like, oh, Anne, nobody can see her but him.
Oh my god.
Or like
I want that.
Or like it's just Anne Hathaway's head comes out of his shoulder, like, oh, Eddie.
All right, so
finally
according
get
to
that
this, the new Venom film starring Tom Hardy will be inspired by the Lethal Protector and Planet of the Symbiote comic storylines.
There's a Planet of the Symbiote storyline?
It's super 90s looking.
Okay, I know they did like something in like the recent Guardians of the Galaxy with like the symbiote planet.
Right.
And spoiler, they're actually really nice.
Yeah, it was just that one symbiote that was fucking cuckoo, right?
Yeah, because like a hive mind, like if one's separated for too long, it becomes like erratic and like dangerous. So that's like go back and like reform with the hive mind to become nice again.
I actually kind of like that idea.
Yeah, it was cute.
Rather than just it being a bunch of like random fucking puddles of poop. And all pissed off. It's like, oh no, like you're away from too long. This is what happens.
Come home.
I am kind of curious too, because the director is the guy who made Zombieland, which I really liked, and I'm not. And the rest is mostly just like TV stuff. And
what else has he made besides Zombieland?
He made Zombieland, and the only other movie he directed was Gangster Squad, which was like the Ryan Gosling, Sean Penn movie.
Oh,
it wasn't. It's not. Yeah. So,
okay, so not a lot of faith in him. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I loved Zombieland.
Well, outside of Zombieland.
Outside of Zombieland, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can prove us wrong with this one.
Woody Harrelson as Venom.
I would like that. Like a Venom like of the future. Venom the end.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they just start making the end movies. And then they just make the end the movie that where Thanos just destroys the entire universe, and at the end he's just standing in a white infinite space.
No more credit card debt.
Woo!
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Venom. We will see. When does that come out? Like next year, the year after?
I thought it was this year. I could
What?
be.
They
I
just
could be
started filming.
wrong.
It's coming out this year.
I don't know. I
So
could be
soon.
wrong. Hey, hold on. Remember, everybody, be calm.
Chandler.
I used to have a manager that was his go-to. Everybody, be calm. I was like, Ed, no one's freaking out, man. It's just you.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's listed as October.
2018.
Yeah. It's not giving them a lot of time.
Oh,
As somebody who's never
semi-related
made
but
a movie,
unrelated.
that seems pretty.
They pushed back New Mutants, which I was kind of upset about.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and they upped the timetable for Deadpool, right? Isn't that coming out like a month earlier?
Oh. I don't know. I know that.
I mean, talk about time.
Disney's just trying to like figure out what to do with all this mess before they start integrating.
I mean, hey, you know what? True to form, the X-Men timeline's getting all fucked up.
I mean, that's. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's been so messed up forever.
Yeah.
It's like its thing.
I don't know. I do hope that in the end it just works out so that it's the Marvel properties all coming home. Because then, how great would it be if maybe... Okay, so here's what could happen. Eddie Brock is on a mission, as exploration thing, where this Venom thing latches onto him and it's all good, and then he takes it back home with them, and then because it's separated from the hive mind, it goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and...
And the pudding.
And he could Bill Cosby as Venom. Yes, he's running around New York, and Spider-Man's like, "Oh, jeez, I gotta stop this guy! Whip, whip, whip!" And then Peter's like, "I don't know, man. I can't figure this out. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. That's Captain America. No, I'm just a kid.
I'm just a kid,
in tights.
and life is a nightmare.
I should take this to Reed Richards." And then Reed
Score's
Richards...
simple plan.
Yeah, and then Reed Richards has to figure it out, and Tony Stark.
Oh god, I'm so excited for Fantastic Four to be brought home
and done right.
Yeah.
I still think they just gotta introduce them like they've been here all along. Like in the 60s, something weird happened. They got zapped into a wormhole, and then they just pop out in 2020, and they're just
That would be
"Whoa, that was a
amazing.
crazy adventure." And they're still
no,
they're all
that's
super
totally
summer of
cool.
love 1960s.
Well, no, I think that would be totally awesome, especially if you have a Reed Richards who's very almost like Dick Van Dyke, with the style suits and haircut and just I think that would be really cool, and you're kind of true to the comic, in its inception. But
and then you could have
there was a black man for
Steve-
president. Now we know we're in an alternate dimension.
so you could have Steve
the ultimate
Rogers.
nullifier.
Steve Rogers is the experienced man out of time, so he's just "Don't worry, guys. Let me show you the ropes."
First of all, get a notebook. Create a list of all the movies you're going to watch and music you're going to listen to.
And then they could have Reed Richards just pick up on everything super fast because he's super smart, and then Steve be like, "God damn it."
Yeah. Reed Richards would be like, "Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to form a team, and you're not in it." Illuminati.
I'm good here. Yeah, I'm hoping, wishing, praying. But I hope everything works out. Yeah, and that timeline, it did get super wonky. But hopefully, if they do it right, they'll bring in Deadpool. And from what I understand from one of the Disney presidents, CEO, they're saying that they were going to just let Deadpool be doing his own thing, and although I think it'd be great though if there was a scene in Deadpool where he's hanging out with Mickey Mouse and he's like, "Ah, psych, gotcha," and then he shoots him. Yeah, I mean they're obviously going to integrate Deadpool because why would they? Clearly, Disney enjoys money.
Yes,
and by trying to redo Deadpool, they're risking money.
I think one of the subplots should be just Deadpool trying to get verified as a Disney princess.
And on Twitter. He keeps trying to get verified on Twitter and as a Disney princess.
That should be one of at least a subplot for one of the movies. Because I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird time.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up the Entertainment Weekly article now about this whole thing here. Well, of course, we know that the Channing Tatum Gambit has been pushed back yet again from February of 2019 to June of 2019. So that's
just, how about they just don't make a Gambit movie?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything I said about Venom, you can repeat about Gambit.
Yeah.
Like, certain characters just, they should have their own movie. Like Cyclops, for instance. Way deeper character, way more shit to go on. Shouldn't have his own movie.
No, well, and I agree, because I think Cyclops, he's a team leader, and for that movie to work, he needs a team to lead.
Like, if they want a side romance between, like, Gambit and Rogue or something to appease all us 90s folk, like, just do that in an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Right.
There's also, and then I guess there's the Josh Boone's New Mutants, starring Macy Williams. That got moved from April to February of 2019.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Yeah, Gambit's having a tough time. I guess they lost Gore Verbinski. He was set to direct for a while, which that could have been interesting.
That could have been. But still, like, come on, Gambit.
Didn't Gore Verbinski do fucking Good Will Hunting?
No, that was Gus Van Sant.
Oh, Gus Van Sant. Oh man, because I would.
Gore Verbinski directed
Pirates of the
first
Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean and that Rango, the lizard movie.
Oh right, yeah.
Which is actually pretty good, and I think he recently made that that movie about the creepy hospital. I forget what it's called.
Creepy Hospital.
Yeah.
It's too bad, because I just would have loved, like, a whole Good Will Hunting bit with Gambit, being like, Gambit, Remy, it's not your fault. I was like, oh, mama, I mean, no, don't, no. And it's just like Xavier, it's not your fault.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fuck with me, Charles.
I wonder how they're gonna, like, I don't know.
And then
do him because Gambit's like a pretty boy and Channing Tatum's not. He's a potato, so it's just like
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I still don't understand. Like, Channing Tatum, he's like a bulky, like, he's just not what I picture. Like, I picture him with long hair.
I see him as more of an Eddie Brock than a Gambit.
Yeah, that's way better.
But I don't know. But also, continuing in the vein of movies, apparently Black Widow could potentially get her own movie, because according to Newsarama, Marvel, I don't know why I decided like that, Marvel hired a writer. I'm sorry, it's from Variety, Jack Schaefer. So according to this, framed as, quote, early, very early, end quote, with no official green light from studio, work on a Black Widow film reportedly began with studio president Kevin Feige interviewing writer candidates and consulting with Johansson, who, because she's played the role 6 times now, so I mean I can see her being like a consultant. Mm-hmm. But this guy Schaefer is best known for a Blacklist screenplay titled The Shower. With Anne Hathaway has option to produce, star in. So I don't know. It's
cool.
Yeah,
it's like a spy versus spy kind of thing. That would
awesome.
Be
Be cool. It's supposedly possible for. Let's see here. Oh, never mind. It was just saying that it's sort of just kind of been in the production vein since 2010, and honestly, I would rather them take their time. Because I would hate for the first mega Marvel flop to be Black Widow.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be. I just have so much faith in Marvel. Like, their worst movies are just movies that I'm just like, man, that was fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think they would just at worst, they just make fine movies.
Yeah.
Because Black Widow, it would be so easy. Just have her doing cool shit, riding motorcycles, being a spy.
Dude, I would just make it like a Bond movie. but
Yeah,
she's
seriously.
but she's Bond, you know, like all like you know, and then she's like seducing dude. Yeah, you could do this really cool opening credits bit, you know, with like spider webs and shit, and the Red Room, you know, like some of those scenes from Age of Ultron, and you could maybe get like I don't know, Adele to do the music.
Skyfall rendition.
It's a Black Widow in the shadow.
Earthrise.
Near a window. Black Widow.
Hello.
So yeah. Could be cool. I don't know. Yeah, but you know, speaking of, no, that's a horrible transition. Black Panther's coming out. Really excited about that. And apparently the pre-sales.
I forgot how soon that shit was.
Yeah, man, that's like less than a
I think it was
month.
like Mark posted. He was like, "I got my tickets," and I was like, "Really? For like August?" Thinking it was coming out in the summer, and then I was like, "Oh wait, that's in like 2 weeks."
Dude, I'm like so ready for Black Panther. I mean, I got like my like Black Panther, you know, big figure, you know, and then I got the 6-inch Black Panther, and you know, and then I got this chick who inspired my haircut. Twinsies. It's funny. Angela's not the biggest fan of my little addiction, but she was okay with this.
Exceptions.
And her. So, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah. The rule is I just can't go walking around trying to talk with an African accent.
That might be a little distasteful.
Well, yeah, which is a reasonable request.
Although trying to do like a South African accent, it's hard. It's like British, but so weird.
Yeah, I mean, did you see, what was it, that movie with Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, like the rugby movie.
Yeah, because he had an African accent, and I was like, what is happening? I mean, it was set in Africa, so I mean, I get it, but he was like, I can't even imitate it. Like, it was just like, that must have taken a lot of work. Or no, what was that one movie with DiCaprio? It was like Bloodstone, because he had like an African accent. Blood Diamond and Bloodstone. he had an African thing. Like, listen to me. I'm like, damn,
was the guy
Leo.
from District 9 actually South African?
Was what?
Yes.
The guy from District 9 actually South African?
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So was the director.
Wickus, yeah.
I love that actor, by the way, because speaking of Matt Damon, he was great.
Charlton Copley?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
He was great in Elysium, which is the same director. But he was a good bad guy in that.
I haven't seen Elysium yet. Everybody said it was fine. Like, I was really hyped for that movie, and then something happened. I just never got around to it.
Rob, I would say Elysium is how you put with a Marvel movie. It's good. Like, I mean, it's not like a paradigm shift in storytelling, but I liked it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I would definitely watch it if it ever pops up on some streaming thing.
like, honestly, I would buy it. I mean, Jodie Foster alone, she was a great bad guy. I sort of liked the message of the movie. Like, I feel like it's definitely analytical to some things that are actually still happening now in politics. So, yeah, I thought it was good.
I keep getting it confused with Oblivion with Tom Cruise.
I think I like Elysium more than
Never saw that
Oblivion.
either.
You know what? It's got a killer soundtrack, though. What is it? Is it MP3? No, what's that group?
Mob Deep. I don't know.
I don't know. But it was whatever the kids are listening to. With Justin
I got it
Bebop.
on an MP3.
Oh, damn it! Now I gotta look it up because I have part of it. Oh, M83.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah,
I have heard of those guys.
it's good stoof. But yeah, Black Panther is crushing the pre-sale tickets, which I am super excited about. I hope that not only will Black Panther be amazing, which I'm very confident that it will, but that this would be a paradigm shift. That that it sort of kind of changes the status quo of superhero movies as far as it needing a white male lead named Chris. You know, that you know, I just think, first of all,
Turns out the lead's going to be Chris Rock, and
oh my god,
What
we
have
need
we
to
done?
keep it going.
We've gone too far.
man, the government don't give a fuck about you.
This summer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh god, I forgot what I was gonna say though. I you know, years ago, and Chandler, maybe you can bear witness to this or bear witness to this, but years ago, back at Comicopia, before Angela and I were even dating, I said Black Panther would happen, and Angela and Don were both like, no, it ain't gonna happen. And Don would give me all these reasons about nobody's gonna want to see a high-tech, highly advanced Black African community. You know, nobody's gonna want to pay to see that. Nobody's gonna want to pay to make it. And I just kept thinking, listen, if we can have a movie with a talking raccoon and a walking tree, I sure as hell can get a Black Panther movie.
God damn it.
The whole like advanced African society thing is so goddamn cool because it's literally never been shown.
Yes,
ever.
And I
like
love
it's
how-
a completely new thing. Like
And-
I just saw like when the first time I saw the trailer, I was like, that is so fucking cool looking.
Oh, it's badass. And what do they say in the trailer, that it was like El Dorado? That it was
Yeah.
like,
because it's like this untouched culture that has like all like the roots in like African history and stuff like that, but also like super advanced technology. It's just fucking cool, man.
it looks great. And honestly, and I'm saying this as somebody with a white person, who is a white person.
This has a person on a leash. This is my white person.
Oh my god! It's like, Paul, you know you're white, right? What? Does Dad know? I would have no. I'm just so excited because the cast is just so
Beautiful.
black, yeah, and beautiful, and I love that the only two white dudes were from the fucking Hobbit. You have Gollum and Bilbo, the only two white dudes in this movie.
That's all you need, really.
I mean, and they're great actors. Martin Freeman, you know, Andy Serkis, and I love that for once Andy Serkis isn't going to be covered in fucking dots. You know, he's going to
Yeah.
actually see him emote.
He deserves it.
And he does a great African accent.
He's just English?
No, he's African. He's the South African. Yeah, he's, you know, which I was super excited about in Age of Ultron, where he's like, oh yeah, the disco lights. Like I was like, oh man, this is great. And I got really excited when Ultron cut off his arm, because like, oh man, he's totally gonna be Claw. And you see some Claw arm action with like some fucking sonic beam shit come out of his bionic arm. So loving it. And I hope this gets like sequels. Like I want like a killer Black Panther trilogy. Also, the soundtrack so far sounds amazing. That song they released with Kendrick Lamar, "All the Stars," it's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so excited, and I want this to fucking obliterate all the records. I want this to be the best Marvel movie. I mean, yeah, for society and pushing boundaries and and giving people a wider platform, but just so I can say that I was right.
Yeah.
The white
Also,
man was
like-
right. Black
Creed
Panther
was
was
so
going to happen.
good. So I have so much faith.
Yeah. No. Oh, I
Like
love
I remember
Creed.
watching Creed, and it was like it captured everything I loved about the Rocky movies, and then some.
Dude, it's
Like I remember watching that movie, and like in the theater, I just want to get up and just run. Like I'm so inspired.
and honestly, man, and that's the beauty of like a movie like Rocky or Creed, is that no matter what you are, white or black, if it makes you want to go for a run after you see it, it's doing
succeeded.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when they locked in that director, I was so pumped. And after that, I had Angela watch it, who she had no desire to watch Creed, because I get it, but she loved it. Like she was like, so she was pumped by the end of it. And I
But,
love
like the idea that you could make a spin-off of Rocky so good.
about Creed's son, like not even Creed, but
know.
like Creed's son. But
Then again, I felt the same way about Rocky Balboa, like the very last Rocky movie.
that, you know what?
which
I thought
I
that
also
was
love.
I love
but
too. I mean,
Creed is like next level.
well, you know what I liked about Creed is that whole idea of like a namesake and sort of like kind of like living up the shadow that you've grown up in. And I think, so many people can relate to that. And it was just so well done. And I love that Rocky has become the new mentor, like he was the new Mickey. He, even when he was going through cancer, he had the hat like Mickey. It's fucking great. I loved it. I love all the Rocky movies. Even when it's Rocky versus Russia, fucking great. I love them all. Anyway, but after seeing Creed, knowing that he was going to take on Black Panther, I just thought, man, it's going to be perfect. Because this is somebody who can not only tell a good story visually, but he can pick up the reins of a franchise. Because, even though, sure, Black Panther, this is the first Black Panther film, you're still kind of carrying the torch from, Civil War and Age of Ultron, and, because those movies kind of need, they don't have to be seen for Black Panther, but it helps. So I think he's going to kill it, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Agreed.
So you run and tell that homeboy.
Homeboy.
Home. I should stop. I'm just looking for an ass beating.
No. I appreciate it. As a resident Black person, I think it's fine.
I'm your ally. Don't let the haircut fool you, Chandler. I am an ally.
We're twins now. We have
twinsies.
I always have my haircut.
For those who don't know, I shave my head a little shorter than what I wanted to, but whatever. Lex Luthor.
That's great.
It happens. Sometimes you just shave your head.
When they reboot DC, which is going to happen, I want to be Lex.
It can happen.
I think I could do it.
Just start buying white suits until you find just the right one.
And just start walking down just the streets of Hollywood.
And just being incredibly condescending to everybody.
Because we all know my thoughts on, Lex Luthor, about how he should be portrayed. I want, a Bruce Willis, Lex Luthor, someone who, works out, basically someone who's trying to chase down physical human perfection, both, mentally, physically, financially, he's conquering all of the playing fields. So when this fucker Superman comes around and can do this shit with no problem, that's what's caused Lex Luthor to be that's fucking bullshit. That is a bitch slap to humanity. What is the point of the Olympics now? Well, what is the point of, trying to be better than what you are when you got this fuck flying around in his fucking boxer briefs rubbing that shit in your face? Speaking of Superman's boxer briefs, though, Action Comics 1000 remix. He's his 1000th issue is coming out, and they're bringing back the boxer briefs.
If they never broke the continuity, so it always just counted up from one.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
All these companies, they're like, oh, now it's one again, but then all of a sudden when it hits a milestone, it's back to the old numbering. It's like, come on, guys.
And then you get these people channeling, who I'm talking about. Oh, I gotta get the first issue. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not
speculators.
This first issue isn't gonna be if anything, I get excited because I get variants, and I'm a sucker for variants. But that's it. You know what I mean? I know I'm not gonna resell them. But it's this. This Superman issue 1 isn't gonna be fucking 1930s issue 1, but pretty darn cool that
maybe in a century.
Yeah. If all of the comics disintegrated except that one issue,
right?
then you got something. But until that day, but I think it's cool that Superman has been around thus far. I am also a sucker for Superman. I know I just did a trash talk as Lex Luthor, but that's acting and improvisation, which is a tool that I use in my craft.
Is Action Comics the longest running comic book, or is there another?
You know what? It could be. Who knows? Okay. Who knows? The shadow knows.
Power of the internet.
Did you just say how internet?
No, the power of the internet.
I thought so. Oh, how internet? I'm like, oh, is that a new thing the kids are saying?
It probably is, but technically they broke it up. They broke their own. Now they're trying to come back and go, oh no, it's still the thousands. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
You made all the mistakes with the new 52.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Yeah. But I think it's cool that they're bringing back Superman's underwear, which I gotta say, when I saw like the image of like the comic book that's coming out and he's rocking the red shorts, it just felt right, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because when you said that, I looked at the picture and then I was just like, I couldn't even visualize Superman looking any different.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
I was like, that's just Superman.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just so classic. I mean, Superman along with Spider-Man, those costumes are so iconic, and there's a reason why they haven't changed. I mean, Batman has the same, pointy ears cape, but the color combo and the symbol, that's always changing. But I mean, Superman, he's just such a pop culture, I don't know, pop culture icon, thingamajig.
Yeah.
Don't fix what ain't broken.
Exactly. It's like simple is good.
And also the big thing about this issue too is that it's also going to feature our first taste of Brian Michael Bendis writing for DC. And I'm very curious about Bendis writing Superman. Like, I can see Bendis writing like a Gotham Central cop drama, or even like Teen Titans. I can see him writing Superman. Chandler, before we were recording, I know you had said that he would probably do a good banter like with like Perry White and Lois Lane and the Daily Planet day-to-day stuff. So be curious to see how it goes. But that's got a killer lineup though. You got like Marv Wolfman, Richard Donner, who gave us the first, in my opinion, one of the best comic book movies, Superman, written by Mario Puzo, who wrote this little independent film you may have heard of called The Godfather.
What?
So you got Richard Donner on that. You got Jeff Johns, Scott Snyder. It's going to be a pretty spectacular issue, and I am so looking forward to it.
Sorry to interrupt, but I only have confirmation that Action Comics is the longest running DC series. So I'm assuming they're not counting like comic strips, which probably have like 2,000 like issues if you count that. But yeah, it's pretty damn long though.
It is pretty damn long.
Family Circus. That shit's been going forever.
Oh, God. There's a fucking carousel ride that won't end. Jesus Christ.
Man, so much...
In divorce.
So much hate for Family Circus. Jeez.
God, I don't know. I mean... No, fuck Family Circus. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, as far as like,
I'm
drawing a line in the sand.
I'm sorry.
There's Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, exactly. Calvin and Hobbes.
Circus.
Yeah. Who needs Family Circus? You got fucking Calvin and Hobbes. The power of his imagination.
I was a big Garfield guy growing up.
Me too.
I used to get the books that were like the compilation of Garfield comic strips.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Do you remember this one Garfield? I remember it was like a book in the library, and it was like, I swear to God, it was like Garfield versus Armageddon. Like, it was like this like cataclysmic storm comes to town, and like him and Odie and John have to fucking survive to get through it, and then it's like the aftermath. Dude, I'm not all right.
That sounds really depressing.
I wonder. I still probably have all these on a bookshelf in my parents' house. I should try to find some of these.
I'm gonna try to find it. Garfield Storm. I don't know. I'm probably gonna pull up somebody named Garfield Storm. But no, I'm gonna find it like kids book. I swear
Not
to God,
Kids Bop.
No, because they could like all the animals could fucking sense something was about to go down. Like, I'm gonna find it. Damn it! Oh, yes, Garfield's Judgment Day.
That sounds weirdly ridiculous.
I'm pulling it up right now. It looks like it's on Amazon. If Amazon will ever fucking load.
I mean, the first link I just clicked on is the entire thing in PDF form.
Yeah, Garfield's Judgment Day. Look at him and Odie. They're fucking running from lightning.
What the fuck?
Yeah, y'all think I'm crazy.
Do you guys remember the Garfield cartoon?
Yeah.
Garfield
there was the
and
weird
friends.
there was always the weird like barn animal thing in the middle that I never wanted to watch because I'm like, this isn't Garfield.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like the duck with like the little
shows-
duck, and it's like his tube. It was like weird.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
Half
you know what
the
I love?
goddamn episode isn't even Garfield.
Garfield's Halloween special might be one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. where it was like they see that old fucking crackly dude like by the fire, and he's telling the story about like the pirates and like, oh, every 100 years on Halloween. Luckily, it's the 99th year, or is it the 100th year? And like him, Garfield and Odie freak out, and the fucking pirate ghosts try to steal their candy. But it's great. You gotta check it out.
I'm probably not going to, but
it's good stuff, man.
Comic strips, they're weird. It's a weird thing because they're comics.
I also recently learned that the Dilbert creator is like insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's a weird guy. I actually listened to a podcast with him on it. He's a weird guy.
Yeah. Likes the cartoon though. That's cool.
And see, here's the old creepy dude telling the story. It's great.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Talking about Garfield makes me gassy.
It's all that lasagna in the
Oh
brain.
yeah. Oh my god,
I want some
lasagna.
lasagna.
I'm sorry, but have you guys seen, was it Garfield without Garfield? It's just John talking to himself.
My God,
Oh
it's
god,
so
yes. So sad.
Such like this weird like existential like
Oh, I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I just went to Garfield-Garfield.com.
There's also like the surreal
updated.
Garfield one, which is like really creepy.
The first one is just John looking sad holding coffee, and he says, "Let's do nothing today." And then there's two more panels of the exact same thing with just no words. Oh, it's sad.
Oh, but brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty goddamn brilliant. I wish I thought of clever things sometimes.
Oh, you can.
There's still time.
Too tired. It's like funny when you see those like motivational things where like The Rock will post on Instagram. He's like, I get up at 4 a.m. every day because I gotta hustle. I gotta get there. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm never gonna be The Rock, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm okay.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, hey, we have like probably in the top 10,000th most popular comic book podcasts on the internet. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
We got some listeners, so there's that. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
Yeah, every one of you who's listening to this that we don't know personally, thank you.
Yeah, you
Thank
guys
you
are
too, Mom.
awesome. Yep, I want to thank Angela's sister, my sister-in-law, Chris, and Mom.
Our one listener in China, our one listener in Australia, our like 2 listeners in New Zealand.
Sweet.
Oh, I think I know who they are.
Good spread.
Really?
I think I know who the listeners are in New Zealand.
That's funny.
Yeah, Greg and Robin.
Yeah, if you look at
they just moved to New Zealand. So thank you, guys, representing down in fucking Hobbiton.
on the podcast website, there's like a chart that shows like where in the globe people are listening. We have a whole untapped market being South America and Africa. So I think we should start some targeted advertising.
Yeah, I hope I didn't
become
fucking
Africa's
lose...
most popular comic book podcast.
Paul, you fucked us.
Oh no, I love Africa. You guys are great.
Now you're just sounding condescending. I'm sorry, Africa. I apologize for Paul.
Should like a disclaimer now at the end.
Jeez, even Domino's giving me a fucking look like, you idiot.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's Israel. We have one download in our history of podcasting in Israel.
Sweet.
Oh, we actually have a lot in Japan.
Yeah.
What?
Arigatou gozaimasu.
This is the most boring podcasting ever for people. This is listing statistics.
It's probably like a nice like background to kind of thing to listen to.
Since October, we've had 115 downloads in Japan. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa. Is that hello? No, Domon?
Yes.
Or konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa is like hello, good afternoon.
Okay.
So how do we say thank you in Japanese, Chandler?
Arigato gozaimasu.
What?
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato.
We're gonna have Chandler as our resident.
I'm just gonna stop talking because I'm just gonna fucking lose all the Japanese listeners too.
All right, well, we should probably wrap this up before we just go down some weird
before we just
wormhole.
So hey,
no, we must go deeper.
Garfield for like 15 minutes.
What have y'all been reading?
I read the last issue of Doomsday Clock, which I think is issue 2. I think 3 might come out this week or the next week or something. I'm still really liking it. This issue shows Ozymandias, the current Rorschach, and those like the marionette people that they brought with them to try to lure Dr. Manhattan in with or something. They like get into the DC universe.
I thought you said Mary and Ed.
Yeah, Mary and Ed. You know Mary and Ed from Watchmen. But yeah, so they like go into the DC universe kind of following a trail of Dr. Manhattan. And when they land, they're like, go to a library and they do some research. And they're like, all right, these are the 2 smartest people on the planet. Let's split up. And one's Bruce Wayne and one is Lex Luthor. So Rorschach goes and finds like the Batcave, and then Ozymandias goes and finds Lex Luthor. And it's pretty cool because Ozymandias and Lex Luthor are super similar, and it's kind of cool. I hope they kind of do more with them 2 together, because I feel like them trying to like argue intellectually and be condescending, like see who can be the most condescending between the 2 of them, could be very, very fun to watch. And it's still building up. There's like no Superman yet. There's no Dr. Manhattan yet. It's just building. It's very dark.
It's 12 issues long, so we'll probably get plenty of Manhattan Superman action.
Yeah. But yeah, that's real good. And I'm now caught up on the Mark Waid, Chris Samnee Captain America, which continues to be a delight. I love the whole like Cap on a road trip trying to find a nice little town to lay down and chill out in, because he's like, hey man, I'm not being subsidized by S.H.I.E.L.D. or Tony Stark anymore, so I guess I don't have to live in New York.
Or Hydra.
Yeah, or Hydra. Let's forget that happened. That's in the past.
That's the whole point of his road trip, is just trying to fucking forget that shit happened. I love
Same
it
with
that
me, Cap. Same with me.
But I do like that people still trust Cap though. Like they're still fucking happy to see him and shit.
Like he goes into that diner and he's like, hey, do you mind if I help you wash some dishes for a free meal? And they're just like, shut the fuck up, Captain America. We know who you are. It's like, sit your ass
You ain't
down. You can have
slick.
some goddamn meal.
You can eat this fucking apple pie and like it.
Yeah, and I love Chris Samnee's art. It's just like the perfect thing for Captain America. I had always wanted like a Darwin Cook Captain America series, and this is like the closest thing I feel to that. Just like the nice, like not like cartoony, but not like
old-timey.
Kind of like of an era. It feels like it doesn't look like old comics, but it has like a nostalgic feel to it that I really like.
I like that they're kind of like the new writing duo, because they did Daredevil together, they did Black Widow, and now Captain America, and so they're doing something right. They definitely complement each other well.
Yeah, for sure. And this Cap run's awesome. I love the last issue was with Kraven, who I feel like we just don't get enough Kraven the Hunter. He's such like a one note character, but he's so goofy. He's such like I feel like all the classic Spider-Man villains are so goofy. It's just dudes in silly animal costumes.
Yep.
And Kraven's just a guy who hunts people in silly animal costumes. But yeah, we get to see Cap fight a jaguar briefly and outsmart Kraven, and then get frozen into a block of ice. So I'm excited to see where this keeps going.
Yeah.
Nice.
So good.
Wake up in the even farther future.
Yeah.
How about you, Chandler? What's been on your plate, so to speak?
Embarrassingly, I have not been reading recently. I have been randomly watching Veep, which is pretty funny and definitely deserves all the awards it got.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've been playing Teeny Titans, which is like a Teen Titans mobile game. I played on the way to work. It's kind of like a Pokemon-esque figure battling game. Yeah, it's really fun. It's super like the art style is always like super cute and funny. Teen Titans Go basically, but in game form. So it's like lots of like slapsticky like meta humor.
Is it called like Teen Titans Go?
Teeny Titans.
Teeny Titans. Oh, the one is $3.99.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're gonna play it, I mean,
The kid who just held up like $600 worth of action figures.
Don't judge me, Rob. Was it this one? This?
Yep, that's the one.
All right, well, maybe I'll download it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
And that's about it.
All right. I'll check it out. I do love Teen Titans. I'm actually kind of going through. I recently went through a Teen Titans sort of like phase, and I think I'm kind of gearing for another one because I did get a bunch of like the old George Perez stuff, so I'm gonna definitely dive into that. The Teen Titans.
It's making me want to watch the cartoons personally.
Yeah.
So I might do that soon.
That's in the current Teen Titans stuff. Both Titans and Teen Titans are both really good. But I am currently reading Alan Moore's The Saga of Swamp Thing. And it's really good. I know I've talked about it before, but I'm on book 6 now. And it's really cool and weird and just sort of kind of what you'd expect from a Swamp Thing comic. And sort of seeing the introduction of John Constantine, who made his first appearance in this Swamp Thing run. It's just really cool to just kind of see. And I'd always heard that they had modeled John Constantine after Sting, as far as appearance goes, and you can see it in the artwork that it was it's totally if they had done a Constantine movie in the 80s, they definitely would have tried to get Sting to be in it. So now when I think of Constantine, I just think of Sting, which
not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing at all. One, Sting's a good-looking dude. And for his acting, check out Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and David Lynch's Dune. But I would just totally, yeah. No, it's just now that I've read it, I can't not think of Sting as John Constantine, to the point where it's in the comics, Constantine appears and he's trying to help Swamp Thing figure out who he is and the role that he plays in the grand scheme of things, and he's just kind of mean to Swamp Thing. He's like, dude, you haven't fucking figured this out yet? And I just imagine him just Sting going, Swamp Thing!
The Vertigo Hellblazer series has always been something I've wanted to read. And maybe I'll do the Swamp Thing into Hellblazer, get all my old school Vertigo done.
It's really cool. I mean, especially, I'm just knowing that that's where Constantine, first appeared, and you kind of get more of the magical side of things of DC. At one point, there's this big fucking war between heaven and hell, and Swamp Thing's kind of at the center of it. And so, while Swamp Thing and Etrigan the Dragon and Deadman and the Stranger, they're on the front lines in hell, Constantine and Zatanna and all the other mystical people, they're kind of holding the spiritual front line, and they're all holding hands, and fucking one by one is disintegrating, and this is where we see Zatanna's father die. It's it's really good. And actually, after reading this, I kind of want to go back and watch the Justice League Dark movie, because a lot of shades of that are present in this Alan Moore Swamp Thing run, especially the romance between Constantine and Zatanna. Which I was like, I don't know if I buy that, but meanwhile I should, because that's canon. And if Alan Moore wrote it, then that shit is considered the gold standard. So yeah, it's good stuff. And as always, dear listeners, from all across the globe, definitely drop us a line. Tell us what you're thinking, what you're reading, feedback, and if you are, if English isn't your first language, we'll have Chandler translate. And
of course, anytime.
Yeah, and Wednesday, comicpodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a line. We're also on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, but really show the love on iTunes. Give us those stars. We'll appreciate it. If you want to write a review, hell, we'll read the review on the episode. Hell, we'll even try to Skype, so we'll chat with you a little bit on the show. I mean, honestly, we'll do anything just to get a review. We'd appreciate it. So yeah, that's the drill. And as always, team good times and enjoy your issues.